Good stuff from Mr. Joey Hyde, everybody. Joey, I know I was reading about you earlier, and I know you grew up in Michigan, and you loved rock, and your father was a big influence with you. He got you into country music. So from going to Led Zeppelin to Merle Haggard, I mean, what was that like in your life? That probably was really hard.
It actually was really easy. I played in a couple rock bands back home, and I played in one in Nashville too. And I was writing for all those bands, and the whole time I was writing for the rock bands, I was writing these love songs and these relationship songs and these story songs, storylines. And when I, moved to Nashville, I started playing down on Lower Broadway and all the honky tonks, and it was, hey, gigs Tuesday, learn these 60 songs, and it was anything from Hank to, at the time, Eldine, like She's Country was kind of like the hot thing down there. And I started listening to those songs, and I was like, wait a second. All these, rock songs I've been trying to write were just really bad country songs, but that's what I'm going for. So I started digging into the country thing more and started realizing, okay, this is actually what I've been aiming at the whole time. I just didn't know it. I didn't grow up with it. So once I found it, it was like, oh, okay. It's like that breath of fresh air. I found home kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you've opened for the band Perry. Yep. You've opened with Lee Brice, and you just got done touring with Kip Moore.
Yep.
Anything you learned from them to teach you into today's success and what to do and what not to do?
Yeah, and I mean, especially with those three, I mean, there's not a whole lot of what not to do. I mean, they're pretty. They're unbelievably professional and do their job really well. But especially with those three, I mean, there's such an attention to detail that was really cool to see. I mean, they know everything that's going on around them, and seeing them kind of, behind the scenes working all of the small fine details was pretty impressive to me, just to know that, okay, and I'm a pretty hands-on guy, so I can keep doing this even as, it grows.
Right.
I can keep being, hands-on and keep, because especially with the three of them, their sound is so focused, their brand is so focused. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because they make the decisions. They're not letting someone else tell them, do this, and then they, okay. It's actually them doing what they feel is right.
Right, what's good for them. And then with that in mind, like you said, they're so focused on something. What's the hardest part of your job now as a new up-and-coming artist and as a writer and a performer? What's the hardest thing for you now?
Morning shows.
Well, it's a good thing the morning bull ride ain't here with us.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier that this was at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Honestly, just coming from the players' world, being a side guy, I got to see a lot of this. I was a part of a lot of this. I would be at something like this, but I'd be the guy over here playing for the singer kind of thing. So I got to see a lot of it.
Sure.
I think the biggest transition has been when you're over here, everyone's looking here.
Right.
So don't pick your nose or do something stupid.
Right.
Because people are looking. You can't really hide when you do it.
No, it's only you and that guitar, so it's fun.
Yeah.
We got the Swan Brothers coming up for a big show up here, and we're excited to hear that new music. We just added that song, so congratulations to you and
Thank
them.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they sing it pretty good.
What do they call that? Mailbox money now?
Not now, later.
Soon down the road.
hopefully.
Right on. That's cool. Well, being a songwriter like you are and working with Sony and publishing, is there a time when you sit down to yourself, because it always amazes me how you guys can take a thought from such simple things and put it on paper and make it sound so amazing. What do you do today to make yourself stay on top of your game? But also, do you think to yourself, I'm going to write this song for George Strait or Aldine or the band Perry? How do you do that?
I think there's a lot of different approaches. I think it depends who you ask and what day it is and what side of the bed you woke up on and what pant leg you put in first. But most of the writing I do is co-writing, so I'll have another person or two in the room with me. And some days I walk in and I'm just feeling it, and I'm hot, and I'm writing 80% of the song. But then most days someone else is hot, and I just sit back and go, "Yeah, dude, let's do that. And I'm just the coach in the corner going, yeah, keep shooting, LeBron, let's do it.
Right.
I guess not LeBron, he just lost, but
Duncan.
yeah, keep shooting, Leonard. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on the day. Sometimes we'll go in and I write a lot with a pretty close knit group of dudes in my group, all younger dudes that are kind of coming up together. But sometimes we'll get together and say, all right, let's write one for Joey today, and let's make it count and make the record. And some days we're like, nope, I don't want Joey to sing this because someone else will sing it better. It just depends on the day.
Do you have a song that you've written for somebody you're like, this is going to be, I'll use Aldine as an example, or Florida Georgia Line. This is a song for them. But then you realize what kind of a song it is, and you're like, man, I got to hold on to this for myself. Have you done that before?
Actually, kind of. The next song that I'm going to play is my single called Get It On, and I wrote it. So me and my buddy Ryan Hyde, who I write with all the time, I actually wrote later on with him and another friend of ours, but we write every Monday when I'm in town, and we were writing with this guy, John McLaughlin, who wrote Get It On with us, and John was a kind of piano pop artist. So we kind of did our research on him, and we're like, okay, we're going to write a piano pop song today, and we're going to write for John. He shows up. He's like, actually, no, I want to start writing country music. So we're like, all right, change of plans. So at that point, I think I looked at Ryan and went, well, I guess that means we got to write a song about drinking by a kiddie pool, and we just started writing Get It On. So I did, like, in my mindset up front, I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, this is my first single. I was like, all right, that's a cool song. I like that. And so my publishing company got the song to I think it was to one of Luke Bryan's people, and they put it on hold for Luke, and then they took it off hold. Putting it on hold means like he might want to cut it. It turns out he didn't want to cut it. So then they sent it to, and I was signed at Universal already, so they sent it to my record rep over there, and he called me. He goes, "What the are you doing pitching a single?" It's like, ooh, I guess I might need to sing this one. So I kind of listened back to it and was like, oh, maybe this is a single for me. Okay. And, it just took some time to come around to it. Because, I mean, we're writing 100 to 200 songs a year. So sometimes things slip by the wayside, and sometimes things pop at you. And a lot of times the things that pop at you end up not being as good as you thought they were. And it just depends.
Well, I got one more question for you, and then we'll let you sing one more. In all the total of songs you've written so far, how many would you say you've written so far, and do you have stacks of papers of notebooks at home stashed away that no one can find?
Nope. I am not an old school writer. I'm very new school. I got my computer, and I have a documents folder labeled by the year that I wrote. I'm a little OCD with that stuff. So.
And you have about 10 backup drives just in case, right?
Yeah, I actually do. I have it backed up on my phone, on an external, on the computer.
All right.
Yeah,
Good. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Mr. Joey Hyde.